You ever pour your whole being into something, feel that, dedication only to just hit an unexpected wall?
Oh, yeah.
That moment of fatigue or frustration, maybe even a physical thing that just makes you question everything. It's pretty universal, I think.
It really is. That point where you wonder, am I really on the right path here, or have I missed something crucial?
Exactly. And the passion that fueled you starts feeling, well, heavy.
Mm-hmm. We assume that intense effort is always good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what if it's subtly kind of veering off course?
That is precisely what we're digging into today. We're doing a deep dive into this really powerful personal reflection. It's from a pastor, 35 years in ministry, who took a much-needed vacation.
And it wasn't just rest, was it? It was deep introspection, triggered by a surprising physical issue.
Right. Our main source is an audio clip, 2025083131, which translates roughly to ignorance, admitting mistakes, renewed strength. It gives us this incredible lens on these themes. We're going to explore how self-reflection, especially when it comes from difficulty, can light up those hidden assumptions and open totally new paths for growth, for service.
So the mission, really, is to unpack this. We're asking, how do we genuinely recognize our own blind spots?
Mm-hmm.
And, humble ourselves enough to admit mistakes, even when our intentions feel so good.
Yeah, how do we do that to truly gain new strength and a clearer direction?
It's about moving beyond what we think is right to what is actually aligned with that higher purpose.
Okay, let's jump right in then. First, big point. The perils of, let's call it self-centered zeal.
Mm-hmm.
When good intentions, however strong they are, maybe inadvertently start to mask some hidden ambitions.
Right, like your passion for a cause is so intense that you don't even notice you've shifted from humble service to my way thinking.
Yeah, my way instead of the right way.
Yeah.
It's subtle, but the focus shifts, maybe from pure service to kind of our own achievements.
And it's a pattern, isn't it? We see it in history. Think about Saul, who became the Apostle Paul.
Oh, definitely.
His zeal for God's law was so fervent, he was actually persecuting Christians, and he genuinely believed he was doing God's work.
Wild to think about.
It took a literal blinding experience, didn't it? 3 days of blindness, a forced silent period, you could say.
Yeah, where he had to stop, reflect, and realize his whole direction was just wrong.
Exactly. Not just punishment, but a crucial kind of cooling off period for recognition. It forced a complete turnaround.
And it wasn't just Saul. The source reminds us about Jonah, too.
Ah, Jonah.
Right.
Asked to go to Nineveh goes the complete opposite way.
Classic. And his 3 days inside the great fish, another one of those profound, silent periods, a forced pause for reflection, reorientation. It's very similar to Saul's experience, really.
This idea of a forced stop leading to a big realization, it seems incredibly powerful.
It really is. And our source, the pastor, he brings this right into the modern day with his own story. It's quite striking.
The trigger finger. Yeah, he developed trigger finger in his left index finger and his right thumb. A really painful condition where his fingers would just lock up.
Wow.
It was a physical sign of the strain from his intense, nonstop work. He said he had to use hot water every single morning just to open his hands.
That's intense. A real physical symptom of just doing too much.
He was pushing so hard on this ambitious project, the gospel big refrigerator.
Right, the big digital content thing, spreading the gospel globally.
Using AI, churning out up to 12 daily programs for YouTube.
12 a day.
Yeah, in multiple languages, all supposedly at zero cost. He described it as, doing this here, that there, just keep doing. Often bringing coworkers who were also new to the tech, all for God's work in his mind.
So where did the aha moment come?
It hit him when he asked, I'm doing all this for God. Why am I getting trigger finger? The physical limit forced him to pause, to reflect on this intense solo drive he was on.
He felt he was doing everything right, but his body was literally stopping him.
And what's really insightful is how he connected this. He thought about C.S. Lewis and the idea that, the devil is clever. The temptation isn't always obvious evil. Sometimes it's seemingly good things that appeal to our hidden desires, that small ambition for numbers, for growth, maybe a vanity of achievement.
So it's not about chasing money or fame necessarily.
No.
But that honor of achievement, that satisfaction you get when the project grows, when the numbers go up, that can become this powerful, unseen motivation.
Exactly. The pastor was quite open about feeling that vanity satisfaction when his video views increased.
So the takeaway here is even our best intentions can subtly mask this pursuit of self-glory or personal achievement, and often it takes a forced pause to even see it.
Precisely. And that leads right into the next trap, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Building on that idea of maybe misplaced zeal. We often fall into this illusion of indispensability.
Ooh, yeah, that subconscious fear, like if I don't do it, God's work won't move forward.
Right. It's a kind of overconfidence where our own sense of importance starts to maybe outweigh our trust in higher powers' plan.
We start thinking, God needs me, and forget the bigger picture.
Forgetting that any, divine plan is way bigger than just one person.
It's like we convince ourselves we're the critical link, the one holding it all together. Yeah. So easy to fall into, especially when you're dedicated.
Definitely.
Think about Elijah. After that huge victory against the prophets of Baal, 850 of them.
A massive win.
You'd think he'd be on top of the world. But then he runs from Jezebel's threat, and in despair he cries out, I am the only one left.
Yeah.
He felt the entire weight of God's work was just on his shoulders. What do you make of that?
Well, it's such a human moment, isn't it? Even after a huge success, despair can just cloud everything. And God's response was so powerful.
The 7,000 others.
Exactly. I have reserved 7,000 others. It was this profound reminder. You're not alone. And you're not indispensable in the way you think you are. And that realization actually led to Elijah passing his mantle to Elisha, suggesting a shift maybe in his main role. It's a lesson in seeing the team God has, even if we can't.
And, there's also the story of George Leslie Mackay, the Canadian missionary in Taiwan.
Yes. Mackay, incredible dedication.
Absolutely. Devoted his life, 1844 to 1901, to northern Taiwan, churches, schools, hospitals. His motto was basically, rather burn out than rust away.
A powerful sentiment.
He believed God would heal him from throat cancer, but tragically, she died at 57.
And this brings up a really important question for us. Not judging his devotion, obviously, but thinking about stewardship.
Right.
The pastor in our source asks, could he have maybe burned slower? Like a candle, avoided burning at both ends to serve even longer.
It's a tough thought.
It is. It's not saying his life was wasted, far from it.
Yeah.
But it's a reflection on stewarding our gifts, our time, without just burning out prematurely, especially when God might intend for others to join in.
Sustainability.
Exactly. Sustainability and service. The core idea here is that believing we're indispensable often leads to burnout. It undermines our long-term effectiveness and makes us ignore the collective strength that's actually available.
Okay, so we've talked about misguided zeal, the illusion of indispensability. What does this all mean for us? How do we actually change?
Well, it brings us to, I think, the real power of humility. Embracing weakness to gain true strength.
It's a turning point.
Yes. Yeah. It comes when we face our limitations, when we acknowledge, hey, maybe I'm wrong here. That takes immense courage, doesn't it?
It really does. And a humble search for God's will, asking for help, for direction.
And it's this beautiful paradox. Scripture says he gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. And Jesus himself said, it's not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. He came for those who recognize their need, who admit their ignorance, their weakness. It's about surrendering our perceived strength to get real, divine strength.
Think about Paul again, after his initial misguided efforts.
Yeah, post-conversion.
He becomes this incredibly fervent evangelist. On his second missionary journey, things are going great. Church is growing, faith strengthening, numbers up in Asia Minor.
Huge success.
But then the Holy Spirit twice forbids him from preaching in certain areas. First Asia, then Bithynia. How do you react to that? You're seeing results, things are working, and then you feel this divine stop sign.
That's the real test, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Paul, instead of insisting on his successful methods, he gets that vision.
The Macedonian man.
Yeah, calling for help. And he obeys, makes a complete 180-degree turn, stops heading east into Asia, goes west into Europe.
And that decision fundamentally shifted Christian history.
Absolutely. All because he was willing to yield his own plans, his own successful strategy to divine direction. That's humility in action, changing the world.
Such a powerful example of letting go of what you think is best. And we see this again with Moses, right? One of history's greatest leaders.
Definitely.
He leads the Israelites out of Egypt, but then finds himself totally swamped, judging daily disputes for millions of people.
Everything from dog bites to roof repairs, apparently.
He's doing it all himself, judging every little thing. He must have been absolutely exhausted.
And his father-in-law, Jethro, sees this and says, basically, what you are doing is not good.
Straight talk.
Yeah. He saw Moses was wearing himself out, and the people too. Jethro's advice, simple but profound, delegate.
Delegation.
Appoint capable, trustworthy people. Men who fear God, trustworthy, honest, hating unjust gain as leaders over thousands, hundreds, 50s, 10s. Let them handle the small stuff.
Only the big issues come to Moses.
Exactly. It's like a masterclass in organizational leadership from way back then.
And the crucial part, Moses, this huge figure, this great leader, he listened. He implemented the advice.
And the result? Both he and the people were refreshed. It shows that real strength often comes from sharing the load, not trying to carry it all alone.
Which brings us back beautifully to the pastor's own experience. His trigger finger was his Jethro moment, in a way.
It really was. That physical limit forced a similar realization. And then, at that AI seminar, August 10th, 2025, this AI small group formed in his church.
So instead of him doing everything.
Now, 5 coworkers are using AI. They translate, create subtitles, make different language versions, even produce the full videos from his audio recordings.
It's not just the pastor's work anymore.
No, it's a collective construction, as he put it, of the gospel big refrigerator. This delegation let him massively reduce his own workload and actually sustain the ministry, something he couldn't do alone.
It's a fantastic example of moving away from that individual hero model.
Towards building a faith-based, efficient, sustainable team, the vision becomes everyone participating, like that promise in Isaiah.
Those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength.
They will mount up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint.
Yeah.
That kind of power comes from collective effort, from trusting God's guidance together, not just from individual strength.
So the ultimate insight is embracing our weaknesses, humbly delegating even after success. That's the real path to renewed and sustainable strength.
Well put.
Wow, what a journey we've covered today. We've seen how recognizing our ignorance, admitting our mistakes, letting go of our own strength, or that feeling of being indispensable, how that can open the door to true, renewed strength.
Yeah, and lead to more effective, sustainable service.
From Paul's radical redirection, Moses' humble delegation, to our pastor's trigger finger forcing a change, the pattern seems clear. Humility is the pathway.
It leads to greater purpose, greater impact. The core lesson, I think, is about acknowledging our finite nature, and trusting in an infinite capacity, allowing a higher power to work through us and with others in ways we probably couldn't even imagine on our own.
It's not about being less dedicated.
Not at all. It's about being dedicated in a more aligned, more sustainable way.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, here's a final thought for you, the listener, to carry forward. Think about an area in your own life where maybe you've been burning the candle at both ends.
Or feeling like you're the only one who can carry a particular burden. Maybe you've put in huge effort, just like the pastor making all those videos. Right. He shared this powerful blind spot he realized on vacation. He always prayed before recording his messages. Made sense.
Sure.
But he never prayed before uploading the content, that final step. So the question for you is, what upload in your life, that final act of release or presentation or completion, what upload do you need to consciously offer up, trusting something larger than yourself to truly move through it rather than relying solely on your own accomplishment?